Welcome to week 14. This week we address a topic many exercise professionals find intimidating, but absolutely essential: financial management and budgeting. You can have the best programs, facilities, and staff, but without solid financial management, your facility will fail. Understanding finances isn't just for business majors, it's a core competency for facility administrators. A budget is a financial plan that provides the following: projects revenues, which is known as income, estimates expenses, which is our cost, ensures financial viability, will it stay open, guides spending decisions, enables planning and growth, and demonstrates accountability. So there are several types of types of budget. Operating budget is day-to-day revenue and expenses. Capital budget is major purchases and improvement, and cash flow budget, timing of money in and out. Most facilities need all three, but we'll focus on operating budget this week. So common revenue streams for exercise facilities include the following: membership fees, this is the primary revenue source; personal training or services; group exercise classes; specialized programs; retail sales such as supplements and apparel or foods; facility rentals; and grant or sponsorships. Diversification reduces risk of revenue loss. Realistic revenue projections requires the following: historical data analysis if you have a existing facility; market research for new facilities; pricing strategy development; membership retention rates; seasonal fluctuation considerations; and conservative estimates, better to exceed than to fall short, especially when we're talking about budgets. Most major expense categories include the following: personal cost, these are your salaries, benefits, payrolls, and this typically is 50 to 60% of your budget. Facility cost, the rent or mortgage; utilities, insurance, and maintenance; equipment, purchase, maintenance, and replacement; supplies, cleaning, office, and program materials; marketing, advertising, promotions, and website; and administrative, software, legal, accountability, accounting, and memberships. What's the difference between a fixed and variable cost? Fixed cost remain consistent regardless of membership, rent, insurance, base salaries. The variable costs change with membership levels, supplies, part-time staff, and utilities. Understanding this distinction helps us with pricing and break-even analysis. So break-even analysis: how many members do you need to cover costs? We calculate total fixed cost, determine contributions margins per member, revenue minus variable cost, divide the fixed cost by contribution margin. This is your break-even membership level. So another way to think about this is how much you take in versus how much you spend. You need to take in as much as you spend at minimum. So to develop a budget, we follow the following steps. Sorry about that. We review historical data, identify organizational goals for the year, project revenues conservatively, estimate expenses comprehensively, ensure revenues exceed expenses, build in contingency. We need to have 5 to 10% in reserve or on cash. Review and improve with stakeholders, monitor and adjust throughout the year. A budget is worthless if you don't monitor the following, especially with a monthly monitoring: compare actuals versus budgeted monthly, identify variance and invest causes, adjust spending if revenues lag behind, capitalize on opportunities when revenues exceed projections, and prepared variance reports for stakeholders. Present budgets clearly, use standard categories, consistency, include narrative justifications for major items, show comparisons to previous years, highlight priorities and strategic investments, be prepared to defend and explain the numbers. Here are some common budget mistakes: being overly optimistic revenue projections, underestimating expenses, forgetting hidden costs, insurance, permits, taxes, no contingency planning, ignoring cash flow timing, failing to monitor and adjust, not involving key stakeholders. Key performance indicators: revenue per member, personal cost as a percent of revenue. You want to target 50 to 60%. Net profit margin, target 10 to 20%. Member retention rate, target 70% or greater. Revenue per square foot. These help you assess financial health. This week's assignment: you're going to develop a budget for your facility. And we'll do, your budget should be comprehensive, realistic, and defendable. Include all the major revenue and expense categories with justification for your assumptions. We're going to read our final chapter in Courage and Calling, chapter 12, and we'll have our chapter 12 reflection in the discussion board. As always, if you have questions, please ask